So in this part of the lesson, we're gonna practice some more how to use the quadratic formula and how to use it correctly. Please make sure that you're following along so that you're learning how to put this in the calculator or in Desmos, okay? So the first thing I check is to make sure that it equals 0, okay? You have to make sure your equation equals 0. If it doesn't, we need to make it equal 0. The next thing you need to make sure is that you're in standard form. So standard form is going to look like this: ax squared plus bx plus c. And it is. So then we need to identify the a, the b, and the c. So our a value here is going to be 1. Our b value is going to be 3. And our c value is going to be -2. Right? The next thing is finding the quadratic formula, which I gave you the pink sheet on Friday. And the quadratic formula, we found that it was -b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And what we're going to do is we're going to follow the formula. Don't make up steps. Don't make up anything, just follow the formula. All right, so for the first one, it says negative of the value of b. The negative sign goes first. Inside the parentheses, we're going to put the value of b, which happens to be a 3. We cannot do the plus and the minus at the same time, so we're going to do the plus sign first. It says b squared. I'm not making this up, okay? I had a student, we did 2 examples, and then when I asked him to put the numbers inside the parentheses, he started putting the random ABCs anywhere. And so my thing is, you have to pay attention. This set of parentheses is for that b squared right here. So a b is going to go in there. Minus 4ac, so I'm going to do 1 set for a and 1 set for c. All right, for my a value, that's a 1. And the c value is a -2. All right, and the denominator is 2 times a. So for this set of parentheses in the denominator is going to be my a value, which is 1. Now I'm going to work out this problem with you guys. In hopes that you're paying attention and you're following along. So the first thing you want to type in, whether it's your calculator or whether it's Desmos, is the fraction key. So just the little, the dash line, hash line, divider on the keyboard will do, or the division key. Please. Of course, it's not working. This division key will also give you the fraction in Desmos. Any questions on that? Do the fraction bar first, especially if you're on a calculator. Now, if you don't have a fraction bar, then do the numerator first, the denominator separate, and then do your division, okay? Like that, or get a real calculator. All right, so typing this in. Watch and learn, negative sign. Please go to Desmos. Go to Desmos. All right, that's for the b, and the b is going to be 3, okay? Now for this. So in the numerator, it's going to be -3. That's how I'm closing the parentheses. That b is never squared, so don't square that b. Plus, I need to move the window up a little bit. Square root. All right, so you see, put the 3 squared inside the radical sign. When I do the subtract 4ac, just make sure that this does not happen to you. Like if you move the key too much, Notice how your minus sign ends up being outside of your radical sign. You have to make sure that you stay inside of the radical sign. So in this case, I would have to backspace and go back inside the radical sign, and put the subtraction key there. And then do 4, my A value, and my C value. So if I expand this a little bit more, you'll see that all of this, the discriminant is inside of my radical sign. We all make sure that the discriminant is always inside that radical sign when you're putting it in your calculator or your Desmos. All right, then I go to the denominator and I do 2 times the A value, which is 1. Now you'll notice that Desmos gives me the rounded up answer. This is 0.562. So my first X is 0.562. How do I find the other X? For that, switch the sign. So this plus sign right here is going to become a minus sign. And that's going to give you the other answer, which is negative 3.562. All right, are there any questions? Can you do the quadratic formula on your own if I say solve the next one? All right, let me help you guys out a little bit. Here we go. All right, letter B. So the first thing I notice is that this does not equal 0. So in order for it to equal 0, I need to add 2 on both sides. Okay, so now I have negative 3w squared minus 7w plus 2. Okay. Next, I grab my ABC. So if you can all be really careful with your negative signs, your A value is going to be negative 3, your B is going to be negative 7, and C is going to be a positive 2. Okay. Next, we use the quadratic formula, which is at the top right on your paper. Whoa, I think I'm too zoomed in. All right, so it's x equals negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac, everything over 2a. All right, so can you guys go in and put the numbers inside the parentheses? Kaden, McMichael, stop being inside your jacket. And can you tell me what number goes inside this set of parentheses?
Right there?
Yes. Negative 7 inside this one. Negative 7. Keep going. Louder. Thank you. Keep going.
Negative 3.
Okay, are these the correct numbers?
Yes.
Yes? All right, Dwight, what did you get for x? Okay, Calvin. Louder.
Negative 2.590.
Like that?
Yeah.
Amir Hodge, what's the other one? 0.257. All right, can I get a confirm of these numbers, or y'all just... All right. All right, let me introduce you to the discriminant. The discriminant is the part of the quadratic formula that's under the square root sign, okay? That's the b squared minus 4ac. That's known as the discriminant. And the discriminant is something that you don't really have to memorize because the quadratic formula is given to you, but you should know what it's useful for. And it's got a very, very important role. It tells us the number and the nature of our roots just by evaluating the discriminant. All right, so when we look at this equation, does everybody see that it equals 0? And that it's in standard form. So that means that A equals 4, B equals -2, and C equals -3. Once again, the discriminant is B squared minus 4AC. Okay. All right, so B is going to be -2. The A value is 4, and the C value is -3. All right, so we're going to put this in the calculator. So that is, all right, when I put this in the calculator, what are you guys getting? All right, I get 52.
I get 52.
All right, so when your discriminant is greater than 0, you're going to have 2 roots that are rational. So if we were to graph this one would cross the x-axis 2 times, okay? All right, this one, let's calculate the discriminant. In order to do that, we need to identify A, B, and C. So our A happens to be, and our B, and the C. All right, once again, the discriminant is this part right here. And you can get it straight from the quadratic formula. B squared minus 4AC is the part inside of the radical sign. And so now we're just going to substitute the values in. So for the B, -12 in here. For A, 5, and for C, 9. And so what did we get? I get -36. All right, -36 is a number that's less than 0. If your discriminant is negative, there's going to be no solution. That means no roots, no zeros, no x-intercepts to finish the argument, all of them. Are we clear? And that's because the square root can't be negative. We can't get an answer in the real number system, okay? All right, the next one. A equals 1, B equals -2, and C equals 1. Once again, I'm going to write the B squared minus 4AC for reference. I put a set of parentheses for the B, the A, and the C. All right, our B is -2. Our A is 1 and 1. C is 1. All right, please, if you're not going to calculate with us, at least please be quiet so that we can do this. I get 0. Anybody else? All right, so when your discriminant equals 0, there is only one root or one solution. That's when you only touch the x-axis at one place, okay? One root, one solution. So okay, I'll tell you about whether it's a perfect square or not tomorrow, okay?